Welcome, Arm Wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News. And unfortunately, Neil Pickup couldn't come here on this show tonight, but it won't be a problem because we have with us an arm wrestling legend, Engin Terzi. Engin, you are a world champion arm wrestler, multiple weight categories, both arms, and now also a commentator, promoter, organizer, referee. You have done everything in arm wrestling. So, how are you feeling, sir?
Generally, I feel normal about those things. I have been doing all of those that you mentioned for many years already. It's not new. I'm not. I'm talking about the organizing and other things I have been doing for about 15 years.
And I forgot to add one most important title. You are now officially nominated by John Brzenk as the second GOAT of arm wrestling. So how do you feel about that? And maybe that is something new for you.
Yeah. He said this. I was surprised. John usually doesn't comment about this kind of things, and so I was surprised. I wake up and then people send me messages about what John said. I was happy to hear that. Um, I didn't know that he ranked me that highly, and it made me happy because he knows about wrestling. He knows, and he is not. I don't know. He doesn't talk to please people. He when he makes a statement, he believes in it. It doesn't mean that I am at where he sees me, but it is good to hear from him that he sees me that highly. I care about his opinion. His words weigh very heavy on my scale. In the past, Devon Larratt also said the same exact thing a few times, and I mean, it just makes me believe that I have been considered as one of the best, and that is good feeling. Good feeling. I don't know if I deserve or not, but good feeling.
No, you definitely deserve it. So before we talk about the king of the table matches, I wanted to ask you something personal about you that I've been wanting to learn about you for a very long time. First of all, when
Yeah.
and where did you learn English? Like, do they teach English in your country in school?
I mean, they do teach English in my country, but that is not how. When before in my country, uh, every man when they reach to 20 years, they need to go and serve army. Sometimes they go a little bit later than that. And so in 1994, uh, in September, I won my first world title, and then 2 months, no, 3 months later, I went to no, it's about 2 months. 2 months later, I went to army to serve for 18 months. And I knew when the army duty was finishing, and I knew where the world championships in '96 was going to be. It was going to be in US. And I knew that I love arm wrestling and I wanted to pull more often. So I knew there were many tournaments in US. I was planning to actually go there, work there, and then compete as many tournaments as possible. So in army, I had books with me, and I was one of the guards in the president palace, around the president palace, and it was very strict place, to do army. We were doing all kind of ceremonies. We were doing very heavy um, practices, about shooting, about running, about many other things, guarding, hours, So I didn't have much time, but in my free times, I was trying to train and also learn English. I had the knowledge when I finished army duty, and in '97, early '97, in January, I went to US, and then sometimes I came compete European World Championships, but till the middle of the 2003, I stayed there most of the times. There I had to practice, speaking, and together with the knowledge and practice, so it came to a level. It's not that good, but I can express myself.
Yes, and you were a really big motivation for someone like me. And you can understand it better that learning English and being able to speak and converse in that language, in your second language that you have learned after maybe you were 10, 12 years old, it is very different, two different things. And you are a very big motivation for me. Like I can also be confident on the camera to speak English. That is when I started my channel, and I started coming on my channel. Like first I used to do only voiceovers. So you were a really big motivation for me.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
wanted to ask,
your English is very good. Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to ask you one thing. Like, first of all, how do we pronounce the name of your country? Like, the American pronunciation is Turkey, but I'm assuming it could be different, something like Turkey, or what is the exact pronunciation?
It's Turkey. Turkey. That's how we call it. Turkey.
Turkey,
Yeah.
Kiyye.
Yeah, it's like T U with 2 points. I mean, in Turkish, it's Turkey, but I don't
Turkey.
know. It depends, the country. The different countries pronounce in different ways. Yeah.
So, like Georgia, Turkey is also in some part is in Asia and some is in Europe. So, where you live, that part, I'm assuming is in Asia or Europe.
I mean, when you say that Asian, the probably maximum probably 10% of our land is in Europe. The rest is in there's Black Sea and there's Aegean Sea, and in between we call Marmara Sea. So even the half of the Istanbul is in Europe, and the other half is in Asia. There are 3 bridges from there to there, and so I have always lived in the Asian part.
Right. So let's get
Yeah.
to King of the Table, two matches. Very exciting. So, first match, Brendan Allen versus Larry Wheels. What are your thoughts about this match?
I mean, I don't know Brandon Allen. I don't know who he is. I didn't really search for it. Um, I was gonna do some search. Larry invited me to Dubai to train him for 3 months, and then he at the same time was also talking with Levan as well. And then Adam, his manager, told me that like they 100% trust about my training skills, but I think that they thought that it would be better for uh, their YouTube thing for Levan to be there. And of course, he's just huge guy, takes attention, number one in the world. It's very understandable, and it looks like
Yes.
Levan did very good job with Larry. He looks now much better than before. In the past, most of the times he looked like a bodybuilder trying to arm wrestle.
Yes.
But now he looks like an arm wrestler. So Levan did very good job. And so um, the reason I mentioned this, because if I was gonna go there, I was ready to study Brandon Allen, and then so I didn't really need to. The truth is, not to disrespect, but I don't so much like pay attention. Every match. I like the progress of um, Larry.
Okay.
It's good. Also, he's doing also a great job for promoting the sport, and I'm really close to following him. But I never analyze or search about his opponents. So I don't know much about it. I don't know about his opponent, but for sure Larry looks technically much better and effective um, compared to before after Levan went there.
Yeah, there is very little data on Brendan Allen. He's been competing in local tournaments in USA, but he said this is his first official super match. So very difficult to compare between tournaments and super match. But he says that his biggest weapon against Larry is going to be his stamina. He's believing that Larry might win first couple of rounds, but then he will eventually fade. So obviously Larry Wheels is someone whose progress the world is able to track. He's very well documenting it. Plus, he's been arm wrestling with different types of arm wrestlers from all over the world. So it is kind of very easy to see where Larry Wheels' level is at right now. And you were talking about Levan, how he trained Larry Wheels. One interesting thing that I saw there, Larry was always kind of defending, but against Chan Shaw, he did not give him anything. He was
Yeah, yeah,
very,
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah, yeah,
aggressive in the
yeah,
setup. Very
yeah.
aggressive.
He knew what to do. He knew what to do, and he forced his own game. There. Yeah, yeah. As you said, that you are correct. Yeah, that's what he did. I mean, if Brandon is a freak, like complete like freak guy, then he has chance. Other than that, I don't know if we can beat Larry, because I think that Larry's muscle memory, everything for arm wrestling and experience, I think ahead of Brandon is what I think.
Yeah, the same thing that we saw the same thing with Khalid also. When Khalid was against Schoolboy, he was very stubborn, very rigid with his grip, whatever grip he wanted, and Schoolboy had to adjust. And for a beginner, it is very difficult. Like I think Larry Wheels has always been the strongest guy in the gym or wherever he's been in bodybuilding. So that maybe sometimes carries over to arm wrestling. You do not, your mind doesn't instantly recognize that you are no longer the strongest man here, and sometimes they get in the defending tendency. So Larry Wheels was always defending. It happens with beginners like me also. So whenever we are arm wrestling with our friends, our colleagues, our schoolmates, college mates, we are usually stronger than them, so we have the tendency to defend. And first time when we get to arm wrestle against real arm wrestlers, we still have that tendency. At that time maybe we need to attack in a match, but we still kind of keep defending. And that is, I was really excited to see Larry Wheels like attack really aggressive in the setup, not giving anything to chance. Hopefully this continues in the matches also,
Yeah,
and
but
maybe.
still, that is not the only thing about Larry. To he can start like that, but he had the coordination. I saw that he had the coordination. He can set up like that. He can make his minds, you know, set for like that kind of attack. But if his coordination, if the muscle groups are not like coordinated enough, then he would be as good as his weakest link in the chain. But he also looked very coordinated there. Yeah, so that I don't think it is only about mental thing, but I think he also did very well training there. So
So
in my opinion, Larry has the edge, even though I don't know his opponent, because his opponent is unknown to me, and I don't really so much spend time for the things that doesn't really attract me. I have seen just probably tens of thousands of matches during my 30 years career, so I am really picky about
yeah.
where to pay so much attention. You understand? Like, I mean, we all have a taste, right? Like, there are some things that takes my attention, some things don't. So of course, from the fans view, they look for the popularity, but when you know about arm wrestling deeply, then you care about very high quality. I don't even enjoy many of the super heavyweight matches that people are getting crazy about it. Like, for me, like watching 75, 80 kilo, 85 kilo matches, I would just sit there and watch for 3 days, while some of the guys that are like very famous, like, doesn't really excite me. Of course they are good, but not as good as what I would like to see.
From what I saw Brandon talk about, like he was really passionate about arm wrestling, and he really wants to try his luck in arm wrestling, his future in arm wrestling, just like Larry Wheels. So Brandon believes that he has the stamina, or the king's move, or the desperation move, as you would call it. He believes that he has these two weapons over Larry. So Larry Wheels has obviously
Okay,
the.
if he can do those kind of things, if he can do those kind of things, yeah, then maybe he can put the game into a like a dirty road, and then win by experience. But in a normal orthodox arm wrestling way, I see Larry favorites.
Yeah, he believes
Yeah,
that that one move is his primary weapon, king's move or desperation move. He believe this is the best weapon that he's relying on to win this match.
yeah, yeah.
So
I don't know, but if he does something like that, yeah, going under the table and waiting there, until his opponent is exhausted and his arm handles not to get broken. If he took some ibuprofens, 5 of them, not to feel the pain, yeah, maybe possibly, yeah. And
so
even that shows that even that shows that um, it's not King's move, you know what I mean.
right. So it is kind
Yeah.
of difficult without much data on one opponent, but still I would ask for your prediction. Who is going to win this match and the score?
As I said, whatever I say will be just like I mean, the truth
Yes.
is, even when you look at the Gennady versus Hermes match, you know, it is like you can find 1,000 people, and then you will see 500 of them will estimate this, predict this match correctly. You understand? That doesn't always require so much knowledge. If someone like me to guess this, like if you put me 1 week together with Hermes to train, and then 1 week with Gennady to train, and then if I like closely, I mean, for me to understand and use my experience and knowledge, I need to have some data about the recent. You understand?
Right.
But like looking, okay, this is Hermes and this is Gennady. I can only tell you about the possibilities. Possibilities I can tell you, but what is going to happen is so much up to their very current shape. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no
So it looks
predictions.
like Larry is going to win unless the other guy just goes and then just waits here, like, and then, yeah, that
Yeah,
is my prediction.
it would be a guess for me too. I would say Larry Wheels wins 5-1. So that's my guess too. So let's talk about Hermes Gasparini versus Gennady Quickvinia. So there were some
Yeah.
rumors, kind of rumors, or I don't know if they were real. And
Yes,
if
yes, they
any,
were real.
and I believe if anybody started these rumors, Hermes Gasparini was the one to start them, because he also said that in his interview on Instagram that his right is injured,
No,
and
he directly told me. He
yeah, he
directly
told
told me.
he told you as well that he might
Yeah,
be
he
thinking about.
directly told me, he,
Yeah.
he had some, because he just had a Kurdesha match, it is not that easy to pull two very serious super matches in a
3 weeks.
short time, probably 3 weeks, yeah. So it's not an excuse. Whenever people state a fact, people goes, oh, excuse. I mean, two different things we are talking about. Whatever is happening, if it's real, is something different than just creating a reason for your loss or for anything. So this guy, I mean, people with Kurdesha is a very strong guy, and what I will just say, yes, he had some problems, but I talked with him, and then he told me he's gonna pull right arm, and he said he feels his right arm ready now. He had some problem with the brachialis, but he said he's feeling ready right now. He
Yeah,
told me, left or right, what do you think? I said, if you feel ready, then pull with the right arm. I said,
yes.
you get him frozen, all the time. I don't know if
Maybe
it
it
is
is
going to.
something my poor connection maybe, but the video that I'll post will be fine. It wouldn't matter.
Maybe, or
As
maybe mine. I don't know.
no, no, it is
Yeah.
definitely my internet because I'm using mobile data, not Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
But the video that I post will be fine as long as you can hear me clearly. So Hermes posted a photo of his right arm, and he also said that his right arm is ready for Gennady. So the match is happening right-handed for sure. And some people like to say that. Can you hear me? Oh, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can
And
you
some
see me?
yes, yes, yes. Something's wrong. I can feel it. Now I can see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was saying
Mhm.
that some people like to say that, and some people would say if Hermes loses this match, and he once mentions that he had a match with Cordecha 3 weeks ago, maybe that could have been the reason. Some people would definitely say that you shouldn't have taken this match. But I believe this is not right. This is not the right approach. If you had like 80% confidence in yourself that you are going to win, but you had some little injuries, and now you believe your chances from 80 are down to 55% chances of winning. So still, in my opinion, you should compete. You should not give up the match just like that because your chances of winning has been reduced. What do you think about that?
I mean, no, I don't think that way. I think that these guys are very high level athletes, and they have a career, and they don't want to pull if they are not ready. That I don't agree with it. They need to feel. I mean, for me, yeah, I'm all over injured. I will never be 100%. so many injuries, surgeries, everything. You know, I need to either quit or I don't know, just continue pulling. You know, this. But yeah, he's gonna pull right arm. And if you ask me, even if he uh, don't have any kind of injury or anything, it was gonna be a hard match already. The only thing is that now Hermes's confidence may be little bit damaged, you know, after Kurdesha match, you know, because he was feeling very well after Mask match. But I think that Kurdesha is very strong guy. You know, his height, arm height, and before he had only the back pressure. Now he has very good wrist control as well. During the pandemic, I think he did very good training during that time, and he came to the different level. I think Kurdesha is strong enough to surprise many people. This is what I believe. So Gennady versus Hermes is a very close match. You know, the Hermes's hand is very good, and Gennady's back pressure is good, but he can also pull in. Yeah, it's not that easy match. You know, it is not that, you know, you can say that if when you predict for Matt Mask and Gasparini, you knew that whoever takes the hand, the rest will be
Definitely.
easy. That's how it happened. But
Yes.
this is not a match like that. I mean, nobody can really know. You can guess. You can say, oh, he's gonna win 6-0, 5-1, 4-2. See, I was correct, you know, and this guy was wrong, and this. It's not like that. You don't know. Nobody knows. You
Yes.
know, because you're talking about Gennady. Even you predict Hermes to top roll him, it may not be possible him to pin him
Yes.
because Gennady is warrior. And we don't know if you were Gennady, if you had some small injury in your inner elbow, would you tell people this right before the match? You wouldn't tell. You know why you wouldn't tell? Because you wouldn't want your opponent to know this.
Yes.
But do you know what would mean? If Hermes takes the hand, maybe he won't be as effective in this way now. So we don't know anything. We're talking about athletes like Gennady. I have seen around for 16 years. I think first time I saw was 2005 Europeans. I saw him, and so this guy has like hundreds of thousands of miles on his arms. So we don't know if he's injured, if he's totally recovered. You know, if he prepare himself for hook or the side pressure. Of course, he can pull in different ways, but we don't know. They will probably go back pressure to back pressure, or maybe he will just jump in. He's a very experienced guy. He may start with the back pressure. If he realizes that he can't, then he may jump in, you know, suddenly. Or maybe he will try to risk it. And then, because you remember when you see him with Levan training, they both were trying to go outside. Remember?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, in Istanbul event, they came to watch. After the event, I saw Gennady with others training. He was also going outside, you know. He wasn't really going inside. So we don't know uh, if they both go outside. Since Gennady is not as tall as Kurdesha, and I don't think he's, you know, Kurdesha has top roll Gennady as well and pin him
Yes.
in a Moldova
2018
event in, I
Moldova,
think,
right?
2008.
18.
Yeah, I think he even got injured as well, you know. So what I'm just saying that I maybe Gennady is not as good as Kurdesha about the outside skill. This is what I was trying to tell you. I know the possibilities, but to know everything, you need to know the strength level, you need to know health conditions and everything. So, but I don't think that Gennady will be as effective as Kurdesha with outside move. If they go there, there is a possibility that, you know, Hermes to take Gennady's risk. What would happen if Gennady tries to go inside and Hermes goes to outside? Can he top roll him, or he will be like in between hook and the top roll with a neutral wrist position and spinated, you know, side pressure for Gennady, and then outside. Um, Hermes will be 120 kilo.
Hmm.
Last time I talked with him, he said he was under 21 kilo. So I think that Hermes is in very good shape too. So very, very, very close match. But I think that about the control, I give the edge to Hermes.
Okay.
But you are talking about someone like Gennady with a huge heart, you know, warrior spirits, you know. you never know. Even you are close to win, he will fight to the end, and then the endurance factor will play. And we don't know much about Gennady, about the endurance. I think we saw him with Dave Chaffee, yeah, but they was the match didn't really go to do endurance factor. It was like more dominating from the dominating pressure from the Dave. So what's your opinion?
My opinion about it, I think people are downplaying Hermes a lot after the loss against Kordecha. Because what can happen, what I believe can happen between two top rollers, even with a slightly difference, maybe 2-3% difference, one could look really dominant once he takes the other guy's wrist. And especially someone like Hermes Gasparini, who doesn't really have a game on losing side. Like he always loses when his wrist is taken or his arm goes to the losing side. So the difference can look very huge when it may not be that much. And in hook pulling, so if one guy really controls someone and pins him easily, then there is that thing is for sure that the gap is very much. But we cannot say that about top roll. In top roll, small gaps can look huge on camera. So I think that match can demotivate him a little bit. And maybe if he's injured earlier, I was thinking that this match, have you watched the Alan Guerra versus Ryan Bowen WL match? Do you remember that match?
Yeah, I think I saw him. Yeah, Ryan Bowen top roll him, and the guy was defending like this. Yeah,
Yes, but Ryan
yeah,
couldn't finish him with the top roll. He had to get behind his shoulder and press. So earlier I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
this
yeah.
match could end like this. Hermes could take his wrist, but to finish he would need a press. And we saw him that
Yeah,
he
but
had,
we saw Hermes doing this to Michael Todd,
yes, that
but
is what I was
Michael
talking
Todd
about.
shoulder was where he was like this.
Yes,
Now Gennady will be like this. Him to Hermes to do that. He really need to stretch the arm of Gennady like this.
yes,
If he is in like this, Gennady is like this. It is not. Yeah, when he comes to shoulder press, he may even be hooked by Gennady. If he comes that close, so he needs to really stretch him, and then at that point, if he can do, he has ability to. But will the match will go that far? Let's see. Yeah, and yeah, you can continue. I just wanted to add.
yeah. So that's what I was thinking initially, that Hermes will definitely be able to take Gennady's wrist. And then after that, maybe he'll be able to finish him because he was able to press through Michael Todd as well. And I can get, yes, my Gennady will be like this. Michael was all stretched out. And a similar match I saw
Yeah,
between Jerry Cadret and Tim Breznan. So I was looking at that match, and Tim Breznan was in total control like this. He was slightly under the table, full hand control, and he tried to stand up to press, and Jerry just flashed him to the side with his press as soon as he
yeah,
tried to
because
stand.
he lost his tight angle. He
Yes.
lost his tight angle, because he was holding him like that because of that tight angle. Once he comes close, his tight angle came to here, not here anymore. Yeah,
So now I believe,
yeah,
earlier I had Hermes as slight favorite 55-45. Now I'm thinking with all of this, after the match with Kordecha, I think Gennady will be able to win this match, maybe 4-2. And I think for sure that Hermes will not be able to finish him inside the straps. If the match goes inside the straps, I believe Hermes will need a press. He cannot finish without the press. Outside of straps, maybe he can pin like Kordecha pinned him in 2018, but that would be difficult. Kordecha has a really strong arm also, not just the, maybe in 2018 he did not have that much stronger arm as he has right
I
now.
also remember the Gennady of that time and Gennady of today are different Gennadys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Gennady was
Gennady
competing.
now is stronger.
Gennady was competing in WAF till 2017, maybe.
Probably, but I think he had some injuries around that time. He wasn't really ready. He had some kind of injury, but was it wrist or something? I remember. Even that match, I think he got injured after that match. I think he got re-injured. After the Kurdesha pin him. I think, yeah. But don't think that there is no chance at all for Gennady to go outside either.
Outside.
Yeah. Because just remember his practices with Levan. Remember his practices in Istanbul. Yeah, I think he can also go outside too. You never know. If Hermes gives so much of hand just to keep himself far, to top roll him with the low hand top roll, he usually goes that way. But um, um, maybe Gennady can do some surprise, from outside as well. Don't count out anything about Gennady. Him to go sideways, him to go hook, him to go outside, him to go dead wrist. He's all about the pressure, horsepower, you know. So let's see. It will not be easy. It's hard to predict. Yeah, but Hermes needs to realize that he can't lose any more credit than he did already, you know, against Kurdesha. And now, by the way, if you ask me, Kurdesha versus Gennady, I would bet on Kurdesha.
Right.
Yeah. So don't people may think that, you know, Hermes lost because he was overhyped on or something. No, he wasn't overhyped. Hermes is very good, but I think Kurdesha, he already had incredible outside skill, but he was only depending on the back pressure. Now he can apply side pressure, wrist control. His angles are closer. I see that, you know, he has huge potential, but the way that he was pulling wasn't the best. I think he realized this after he lost Krasimir with the dead wrist, you know. So he needed some, not only the taking the risk is enough, he needs to put some pressure to the opponent's arm and pronator, you know, the sideway, and he has it. I think from now on he will only get better. His wrist looks very dominant. I will not be surprised if he goes even further than this. I don't want to mention because some people will like act like, oh, come on, you're extreme, you know, just because he beat Hermes, you think that he is that good or something. You will see. You will see. I think he has that potential.
I think you meant to say him versus Vitali can be a really close match.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But
was
the
also
only
thinking.
thing is, the Vitali also doesn't stay where he is. The Vitali that I saw 2 years ago, and Vitali that I saw versus Krasimir, Vitali to beat Krasimir with top roll is not surprise. Vitali to beat Krasimir with outside easily is not surprise. Just go a little bit ahead, say that Vitality beat Krasimir inside is not surprised because he is much heavier. But Vitality hooked Krasimir and not to feel at all, and then beat like this is just an idea, giving us an idea about his strength level.
Right.
And then imagine that, you know, that strength, not in hook, but outside, you know. So with a little bit more dominant wrist, instead of just pulling all the time like this, a little bit with wrist, keeping his wrist high, then, you know, I think, I don't think Levan is in his own league alone right now. I don't think so. I think that both are there. And Kurdesha may not be there, but I see a potential with him as well.
So I think I will change my prediction now. Earlier, about a month ago, I had Hermes Gasparini winning. Now I would say 4-2 Gennady Kukuinia. What would be your prediction?
No
Guess,
prediction for me.
guess, only guess.
It's just, I don't know. I don't. As I said, you know, like when you guess something, you want me to tell you something, what I don't believe. I like in my mind it's something else. What you ask something else. In my mind, I don't know. In my mind, like I see only possibilities that can happen. This can happen. That can happen. It is all up to the strength without knowing where Gennady's strength right now, where his elbow health, wrist health, where Hermes's health is now. Everything it is. I will only just like a lucky guess or something, you know. But better do analyze than possibilities sharing you than giving the. If I would believe in something, I would say it. Like for example, John Devon, probably I may have some prediction even with score.
But like the percentage you give on your Facebook page, 45%, 55%, 49, 51. You give
Oh
percentage.
yeah,
You
that
give
way,
percentage to every matches. And I
that
will
way,
title this
yeah,
video
yeah,
predictions.
yeah. Percentage, yes, but the score is not. The percentage is.
Yes.
I call that match 50-50.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were talking about.
That is probably why. That is probably why I couldn't predict.
Right, right. So we
Yeah,
were talking about
yeah.
top roll, and I've heard you say that you were once or maybe twice able to take John's hand as well, and you were able to take Michael Todd's hand, and maybe Travis Bagent also, if I heard you correct. So was there any person that you tried in your weight? I'm asking in your weight, or maybe 5-10 kilos above you, that you tried but you couldn't top roll that person? Has there ever been any arm wrestler like that?
No, I didn't really take John's hands. Yeah, I was 63 kilo only. He was 100 kilo, and yeah, I sleep, and then he was trying to catch me. I threw, and then he sleep. We went to strap. He told me that if I was 40 kilo heavier, I would beat him. This is
But
what he told me.
you sent me that photo. I saw John's wrist was like just slightly back.
Yeah. Whenever he was coming back, I hit, and then his wrist like a little bit like come back. Yeah, went and come back. Yeah, yeah.
So in
To
your
imagine, I beat him, but with the side pressure, I beat him. I didn't.
okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it is not about me. It is about
someone
upcoming matches, right?
no, just it is about you also.
Yeah. Okay, you
So
can ask. Yeah.
I was asking, was there anyone around your weight whose hand you were not able to take hand and wrist?
In my prime, I probably took in my weight. I took everyone's wrist.
Right.
Yeah, and in some heavier guys, most of them I took their wrist, but some of them just also were too strong. Like I pulled with Dan Victor in Hartlepool 2001. He was the current 110 kilo world champion, and I was under 70 kilo. But in that event, he was over 100 kilo open, so he was probably 120, 25 kilo. The pads were not angled; pads were close to each other and close. Still, I took his hand. He beat me with the dead wrist, and he is known with his very strong hand wrist. But we were like this, and then he beat me with the shoulder press to right here. I also did the same thing to do Eric Wolfel, world super heavyweight champion. He became world champion in '96 October. I was again 63 kilo, and then we pulled, and then overall again the elbow pads were the same. It was in Tahoe again. We were like this. It was twice on me. Again he beat me with the dead wrist shoulder press to do my own pin pad. Like this. He was too heavy. It's a 60 kilo guy.
You're talking
Yeah.
about pads that are exactly in front of each other, not at the
Yeah.
diagonal.
They are not angled right
Right.
like this, but they are like
Right.
close. Yeah, it makes so much difference about the body weight. If it is angled, it keeps you a little bit far. You understand? It keeps you a little bit away from the body weight. But when you are going like this, you're going joint to joint to each other. It is not that easy. Yeah.
So coming to the big match, John Brzenk versus Devon Larratt. I won't even ask you who do you want to win in this match. Who do you want to see to win in this match? Because that answer I think is obvious to everyone. John Brzenk, right?
Yeah, I would like to see John. This age, people when we say like age, they are like, oh, stop with that excuse or something. I mean, they have no idea. They have no idea. It is not only the age of the person, but this is the mileage that they have on their arms. They need to understand this. This is not excuse. If a 57 years old man with probably 5 million miles on his arm is coming and beating like almost prime Devon, because you know how he, like, since his Dubai match with Michael, now we are talking about him facing Levan, so maybe he's not in the shape right now to face Levan, but people are seeing that potential in him. So if John comes at this age and beats him, it's just like something incredible, and I think that if John's wrist handles, people like John says, oh, I'm this good, that good. I think John, okay, you need to understand that John, if he accepted the match, he can't have any other mindset than believing in himself. He can blur his mind, that he's gonna go there and lose, because he is this age and that age.
Right.
But just, I mean, I have seen John shape, like, just for example, 2000 Hartlepool. I have seen him in 2006 Vegas shape, and like some shapes that his hand wrist, you needed a tractor to take, and then whenever I see that now his wrist is strong, but he's going with Dimitri Kashan like this, he's going with Chan Show like that, Even the Pauline first round hit his wrist, just a little bit came, and then
Yes.
he controlled, you know. I'm not saying that Josim John, I think John's horsepower, everything is not bad. But what made John so great was his hand and wrist dominance. You know, I don't see his hand and wrist is there. I hope uh, from the last time we saw him pulling till now, I hope that it's coming back. But what I saw during all those three super matches he had, who is not even with the Corey Miller, he sleep from like here like this, you know. So I mean, the John that I know, the John of Prime, you know, like I mean, come on, you know, there's nothing close would be, happening like that. So as I said, I hope now he recovered everything. His wrist is coming back. I think this also a little bit about the signals, from brain coming to your hand, being quick. You understand your reaction. You reach into your max power. Um, so he has chance to win round one. Maybe if he wins round one, then maybe even round two. Can he win the whole thing? It's up to the Devon shape. Devon, John said that he was expecting him to look bigger. That is what I thought as well. He didn't look so big to me. Devon didn't look so big. But it's not about being big. He can be strong. They pull left-handed. I talked with Devon yesterday with like maybe 10, 15 minutes video chat. He said that his left now feels strong. Yeah. But even if it's strong, you just say 90% of his right. But the Jones left is, I can say that the hand control, horsepower, probably maximum 65% of his right. So even John and Devon, you say 100 with the right arms, and then Devon is 90 left arm while John is 65.
60, right.
So it is normal that John not to be able to do anything to Devon's left arm. So it shouldn't. I mean, can you see John applying all those horsepower that he's applying with the right arm to him to do this with left arm? I don't see it. Not that wrist control, nothing. Imagine that John's muscle memory, that all the pressures that he felt against Denis Siplenko, Pushkar, Ferry, Travis, like Devon in the past, all those guys, Rambet, Ivakin Taras. I mean, his left never experienced anything close to that, while his right, just think of Jones' right arm is like a Ferrari, but has many problems,
Right.
and the garage needs to be fixed. But when it is fixed, it is still Ferrari. The horsepower, how much is that? So left maybe even healthier, but nothing close to right. So the left-hand match doesn't give me so much idea. I think right arm, pressure, press. John may even have a little bit more horsepower, but will his wrist handle? I don't know. Even if his wrist handles, can he finish it to the pad? I can say that 60, 70% first round, John has chance to do that. And if he does that, then the following round, his chance will be lower. Yeah, this is my opinion. After that, I think the best score John can get there for Devon winning. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
So there were a lot of reasons why from the beginning, I'm seeing this match going 6-0 in favor of Devon. There are many reasons for that, and I'll list them as we talk. So number one reason for me was the 2015 match. What we can take from that? Let's assume John is at a similar level and Devon is also at a similar level, which is not true definitely, but let's assume they're at similar level. Even in 2015, John was not able to beat Devon when Devon had the buckle on his hand
In the
inside the
strap.
straps. Inside the straps, he was not able
Yeah,
to beat him.
yeah.
So I think it could be a little bit easy to assume that he would not be able to beat Devon once the match gets into the straps right now. If they are at similar level or both have progressed
Oh, but
with the
just
same amount.
judge from this way as well. Listen, I am interrupting you, but just judge from this way. They met that point, but that wasn't super match. They had many matches before that.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
tournament race.
you can't really consider that strap match to be their first day fresh versus fresh match. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. Even that day, John Brzenk in the prelims easily in the semi-final, I guess not semi-final, in the prelims, he easily beat Devon
Yeah,
Larratt. Yeah, John said that Devon tried
yeah,
to
yeah,
top
yeah.
roll him, match his hand, and John easily pinned him in that match, pinned Devon.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying that till that point, I'm thinking that Devon is known as someone that can pull forever. You don't see him exhausted. If he is not dominated or something, you understand? He just sucks your energy.
Yeah,
So what I'm just saying that maybe that day, if they would pull first match, there was no tournament, no qualifications in this strap, maybe John would beat him. Also, my opinion, in this strap, John was not so aggressive. I think that, he said that once that in the qualification rounds, he beat him once so easy that he didn't even think that in this strap you would be that hard. So
yes,
like, a little bit underestimating can make you not to finish the match. And so do you remember he was getting close, but he
very
couldn't
close.
finish it
Yeah,
even in
very
the
close.
strap. Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm just saying that just if he was a little bit more aggressive, if it was the first match of the day or something, there was a possibility that maybe he would take a win or two. You understand what I mean? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
John has always been saying that if the match stops, he has himself admitted if the match stops, it would be really difficult for him to win. But I was surprised after that match. It was a around 49 seconds match. I watched it. The first round was 49 seconds, and still John Brzenk was fresh enough to take to take Devon's hand two times after that. So I was really impressed by John's endurance. And even John Brzenk said a couple of days ago to Devon that you might be surprised with my endurance. So
Yeah. But that's not the endurance. That's not that is when Devon was trying to sleep.
yeah. And Devon
Devon was
also
just
made
trying to
made one
don't catch him. Just if you want to judge the endurance, you need to see both of them pulling. Like John was already better than Devon without the strap.
right.
If they would pull in a strap, and then if John would do something, better or similar than the first strap match, then we can be surprised. But that was only the hand endurance that he didn't. His experience. We know that he knows as well that if that match would go to strap, he was gonna lose.
Yes,
So
yes.
that was his whole chance. But as you said that he will be. Listen, John said yesterday that Devon may be surprised of his endurance, and Devon said, "Oh, come on, nah." But just remember that these guys are very strong guys mentally, and they are also playing some mental games as well. In fact, that's surprising me that John is able to do this, because if you look at John's career, there was no really social media.
Right.
You understand? The people were actually seeing each other from tournament to tournament. You understand? They were not really so much in touch to intimidate each other or something. And John is the least person about intimidation. They go in a tournament and going around, just flexing his arm, walking around like this. He just like you would just think he's a school teacher, with the
Right.
glasses. He's just sits there, very gentleman, calm, stable, very, he never does those things. He never did it. I didn't see. But yeah, um, but I saw that he has skills to do it.
Yes.
Like
Not
during this
surprised.
time, I thought that Devon would destroy him mentally, and
Mentally.
then John would be like, what's going on, and then he would be like, his chemical balance would be gone or something, but he was so cool, while Devon was getting kind of angry, And in fact, Devon could do much better, but his respect for John
Yes, yes.
was made him limited. He couldn't cross the line, because he not only because a lot of fans would blame him, but also in him, like I have been, like when I was many times world champion, I was holding my father's arm, and then I was trying to pin him. Like I was like, why I can't even move his arm, because here doesn't allow my hand to go 1 centimeter this way. It said it's your father, you can't, It just I'm like, I want it, but something is holding on. I can't. Like if you put gun here, I still couldn't do it, you know. So maybe Devon's not that much, but Devon has so much respect for John, so it limited him to not to cross the line. He was very careful. He didn't probably want to say something that he would regret later, because these days are temporary. You understand? It's gonna
Right.
finish. You know, the super match will finish, and then everything said before was gonna stay there forever. There's social media, you know, everything is recorded.
Yes. And you may have noticed one thing in social media. First, Devon was the one who kind of took benefit of it. Like if you beat Devon, you will be immediately hated by everyone in social media, all of the fans. Michael Todd beat Devon in 2018, and he was the most hated arm wrestler during that time. Dennis Siplankov beat him in the same
Michael?
year. Yes, Michael Todd, when he beat him in 2018.
No,
He was,
Michael was the most hated.
yes, yes. Michael was really hated. People were really abusing, partly because of his move and partly because he beat Devon. And when Dennis also beat him in 2018, you can see in the comments of that video. If you go to that video, Dennis versus Devon, under the comments of that video, there are really, really hateful comments about Dennis. Like he abused his body with steroids. He would die soon. He would not live long. Really hateful comments. Maybe why? Because just he beat Devon. And right now, I think Devon is in a similar situation. If he beats John Brzenk, even if he tries to do some trash talk, he is being hated by the fans. And I believe that if he beats John Brzenk even very fairly, still a lot of people are going to hate it. So I think it would be a new
I
kind
mean,
of
it's stupid,
experience
you
for
know, just
Devon.
why people need the extreme, you know, they don't need the extreme. I mean, Dennis with Devon, then why would you just go? You know already that what Dennis is. Do you realize this after
Yeah,
the match?
yeah,
Before the match, you think he's gonna beat him. After the match, you
exactly.
say this. And even now, if Devon beat John, I mean, just go congratulate Devon. Just say that he was the better man. You know, there is nothing shame. You know, just like I mean, come on. You know, just I think that the problem is we should be more of an arm wrestling fan than individual fan. You understand? Because when you're an arm wrestling fan, you may still have a favorite arm wrestler that you like, but
Right.
it doesn't make you blind. You know that you. I mean, it's part of it. You know, the guy is better. Just shake their hand. I'm sure that they will shake each other's hand. So why you need to be like king supporter more than king himself? You understand? Just come on. You know, just everything has to have a border, you know. Just if also about John and Devon 2008, like I only saw the match. What happened before the match, I didn't see it. What John says is not presented. It hasn't been presented to the social media. But
Right.
the same thing also Travis Badgen told me that you know when he pulled Devon
Manchester.
in England, he said that it took like 15 minutes. He
Right.
said 15 minutes it took. Yeah, this is exactly what he told me. Yeah, and I think it was earlier or later. I don't remember. Probably earlier. Yeah, he also was complaining about the same thing. But again, you know, I wasn't there. We only saw the video that was on the internet. You know, so I can't make. But I cannot call John uh, liar. But I have a small story about that. In 2013, John came to Istanbul here
Istanbul.
as my guest to pull Krasimir, and some guy invited us, you know, to visit his place. You know, we went, and that guy was, I mean, he was just watching John versus Devon match on his computer. And I went there, I saw, and I was like, I hope John is not gonna see. John was like, what's that? And then he came, he looked at it, he watched. He said after he lost the match, he never watched that match again. You know, and he said that one is a good lesson. This exactly what he said 2013, and then 2015 he beat him in a what event? Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So I
I
was
would never expect them to play again.
right. And nobody expected John to return like this, have so many super matches lined up. And he's even on YouTube.
Yeah,
And the thing about YouTube is you were talking about that why do fans need to be so extreme supporters or extreme haters? But on social media, I think there is a place for everyone. And almost every social media expert believes that in any sport, the extreme haters and the extreme fans are actually good for growing the sport. because they are the ones who are like really engaging in the sport, commenting on it, sharing videos, giving their opinions. So maybe they are not really
I
likable
wouldn't
for
want to
some,
live. I wouldn't want to live in a world like this.
but it is the reality right
I
now.
mean, no. What I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to live in a world. When you say like it is good, imagine that, just to make it even better, if everyone was like that, then people would lose common sense. We would be like all like crazy people walking around, just without analyzing anything, without like we would just saying, oh, you are cheater, you are bullshit, you did this, and the other one is doing this. I think probably the world war started like that, probably.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we need to,
Losing the common sense.
we just need to look at small things like in the 2018 Devon versus Michael Todd match. Devon was saying that Michael beat him fair square, no problems, that he has no complaints about refing, nothing. But still, his Devon's fans were really going hard against, really abusive against Bart Wood, the referee, and Michael Todd, and literally everyone. Even though Devon was saying that he has no problems with Michael Todd or the referee, the match was fair. Devon said it many times, but the fans wouldn't believe it for some reason.
Yeah, but it is also, I'm not saying that, it is different thing, during the match, like for me, it doesn't matter if Michael did this to Devon or Devon did this to Dave. It is unfair. The problem is not there. The problem is with the double standards. If you don't have double standards, then that applies to everyone. If you just say that, oh, Michael, you did this, you cheated, you went under the table, you did, that's why you won this. And then when you say this, if you just say that, oh, Devon, you just did great job against Dave
Dave
Chaffee,
Chappelle.
with a straight arm, and then there is a problem. You need
Yeah,
to have a standard, like I don't care, who does it, that guy does it, or it's happened. If tomorrow Devon tries to beat John and John goes under the table like this, I would just say, just come on, John, come on, like it's not about the person, yeah.
yeah. And the double standards that you were talking about, you can see that under the videos. The Michael Todd versus Devon video has about 20,000 likes and same amount of dislikes, 20 or 21,000 thumbs down dislikes. And the similar,
Wow.
the similar Devon Larratt versus Dave Chaffee match, almost similar looking. But that video has what? Very few, maybe 2,000 dislikes and lot more likes. So biased fans are definitely there. There is no one arguing that.
So that is how it is. If 10,000 people says that, it is like 2 times 2 is 7, and then like 100 people says that no, 2 times 2 is 4, then the numbers are more. So then yeah, okay, I understand.
So I'll come back to my point that I was saying. So the first
Yeah.
point was the straps. This rule I think can play a big role. 30 seconds immediately to straps. And there is a rule that if you don't try to take a grip, don't try to negotiate a grip, there you can be fouled. But I don't really see it happening. So if in 30 seconds, and John Brzenk is someone who really talks about the good side and bad side. We have Todd Hutchings who says that side of the table doesn't really matter. He does a lot of studies, lot of calculations, how many matches are won with the buckle on the hand and how many are lost. So, but John Brzenk really believes in the good and bad side of the buckle. So imagine if John gets the John loses the toss and he gets the buckle on his hand in the first round, because I've heard there will be a toss for that, and 30 seconds they will immediately go to straps. So what
Yeah,
chances?
but the thing that you try to explain, 30 seconds, it goes to the strap, but there is foul can be given, or this, that the foul, given a foul, that possibility has nothing to do with the strap. 30 seconds, they don't get the grip. I mean, it's not because they sleep in 30 seconds or something, so they need strap. 30 seconds, if you can't get the grip, what do you need? Strap or referee's grip?
Referee's grip, right?
Referee's grip. I mean, it has nothing to do. That is why the strap is invented. Strap is invented when these hands slip from each other. They cannot hold on, So why do you eliminate arm wrestling without the strap? The hand control. Oh, it doesn't make. I mean, if it wouldn't make mistake. I mean, it wouldn't make any difference. then in 2015, they, the Devon would have won the while.
Right.
You understand? We all know it, so it makes difference. I'm not saying that it will make difference. I think that if uh, what's the Dimitri Kashan, if Pauline, if uh, Chen Shao,
Cheshire.
if these guys were able to sleep, even if Corey Miller, when I say if, I don't mean that he's weak, but he's lightweight.
Right.
If he is able to sleep, I think Devon can do the same as well.
Yes.
That's why I said that Jones' hand and wrist is not as used to be, unless in last 1 month that we didn't really see him. He did something, great, for his hand and wrist. Then, yeah, I think Devon can go. So whenever we criticize that the match shouldn't start with strap if no sleep, it has nothing to do with this match, that match. If I say this in a like 6 months ago, people wouldn't react like this. But when you say this, because this match is coming with their rule, they get offended because of their favorite arm wrestler is involved. You understand? That is why I said that we should be more of arm wrestling. I love John, I love Devon as well, but John is for me arm wrestling. But I don't really care, like I love arm wrestling more than John.
Right.
You understand? Arm wrestling is the reason that it unites all of us. So we need to think of good of arm wrestling than good of our favorite arm wrestler. So I'm just saying that no grip, just referee's grip, and then if slip, yeah, put the strap. And I'm 100% sure that John is not going to beat Devon this time without strap. This is my opinion,
Right.
as far as what I saw him in previous 3 super matches, Yeah.
Exactly. This is what I also don't like the straight to the strap rules, because strap was obviously invented from hands to coming apart, for the hands to stay together, and you have completely
Yeah.
changed the purpose of it just for entertainment and possibly to save a little bit of time. So that really, I don't think it is good enough reason to totally eliminate
Why
the
would you
thing.
save time? Maybe you are spending time in the step while putting the step. Maybe that match is going to finish like this, and then
Right.
you are putting 1 minute the step you're trying to put. Who says that? I mean, there is no certain thing that step saves time or the good for the. Why not? Just sometimes the arm wrestling without the strap is good as well. I mean, who says that? I mean, I don't understand how people mostly just enter arm wrestling a few years ago. I mean, and then they are saying what's good for the sport. Okay, they may enjoy this strap match, but
Right.
I mean, we can't change the characteristics of the sport because some people like something.
Right. And since we started talking about a little bit about rules and steps, and I've heard you say you have very clear opinions about the running foul that is going to be a part in this match. I saw your interview with Ryan Bowen and the PL referee Zil. So you were very clear that you kind of don't like, I think it would be an appropriate word to say, you don't really like the running
No,
foul
no, no.
system.
I like it. I like it, but it is different than that. It's not that simple. It is. I mean, it's not that simple.
I don't like it.
If advantages gain, if not advantages gain, this
Yes,
kind of
yes.
things, yeah. Sometimes, you can, I mean, I can the, lift my elbow and hook the guy and then exhaust him. And then he also needs to let it go. Or, I mean, it's just so confusing.
Yes.
Maybe if the guy is obviously winning, you understand? Obviously winning, the other one is doing that. Maybe just continue. You understand? If I lift my elbow while I know that I'm gonna lose, and if the guy still winning, then let him continue. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But if lifting my elbow makes me gain advantage, then just give me foul. Why would you let the other guy pull in bad position by the advantage that I unfairly gain?
And this would be my next question to you. Is it even possible for the referees to figure out whether there was advantage gained or not? Wouldn't it be really difficult for the referees to find, like
I
during a
mean,
match?
you can just look. No. What I'm just saying that when I said the advantages gain or something, if I see a guy is intentionally fouling to not to lose and get a foul, you understand? And then I understand that the other guy just can continue because he's now unfairly treated because other guys now just lifting, so he can continue and win. Yeah, but if he loses somehow the advantage, and then you can just restart the match.
Yeah. And my point about running foul, what I don't like about this rule is they say that if you gain some advantage, then it will be a foul. Otherwise, it would be a running foul. So if it is a running foul, it was a small elbow lifted over the pad, and I am given a running foul. So I have to beat my opponent to restart the match. Or I can,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if it is a running foul and I have to beat him, I can just gain more advantage or get one more foul, pull him back, then why cannot I pin him? The
yeah,
result
yeah.
would
I
be
mean,
same.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, why would you even let that guy, I don't know, spend more energy for a match that will restart? You understand? And even the other guy, you giving other guy the chance to win, but now, like, imagine that, I jumped my elbow and took your wrist. You understand? And now, if I win, the match will restart.
Restart, right?
And if the guy wins, he can win. But he is already now like this.
Yes.
Why would you get exhausted?
You can also lift your
Uh,
elbow.
no, why would you get exhausted?
Right.
And then I can hold him and exhaust him like this weight. I
Right.
can follow. So what will happen? He can also lift his
Lift his
elbow.
elbow.
So they are just now restarting the match now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. This kind of things needs to be. I never thought about it deeply because I have always been part of the WAF and like Zloty, European Championships, Turkish National Champion, this kind of events over here. In the US, in the East, they had the running fouls a few times. I played that kind of event as well in the past. Yeah, but I'm not so much familiar. And now with, I think, armors and the wild event, there is running foul rule, I guess.
Yes. And plus, running foul is primarily to stop matches from stop long, good, interesting matches from with micro fouls. And first of all, I don't even like this term micro foul. I think a foul should be a foul. It is you will not hear it any other sport, like in sprinting. If they are 100 lined up for 100-meter sprint, you would not say it was a minor false start. He only went 0.1 seconds before the gun. It never happens like that.
Mm.
Usain Bolt was false started only one time, maybe a little bit before the gun went off, and he was disqualified. You're disqualified, come back 2 years later. And sprinting is still a lot more entertaining, very entertaining game. And so you will not hear the term micro foul in any sport. And arm wrestlers are the only one who say that micro foul should be ignored. No other sport does that.
I mean, I think that we should do a lot of things to not to not to have the elbow fouls, like to make the
Soft
elbow pads
pads.
maybe a little bit softer, yeah, a
Soft.
little bit softer. And then if the athlete is still lifting his elbow, then yeah. But sometimes there has been times that the elbow pads were like so hard, almost like
Yes.
table hard that little bit move. I
Very
mean,
easy to
you
lift
just
it.
your elbow just, yeah. So we need to do our best to make sure that athletes can pull freely at the mm, on the elbow pad, and then wouldn't get foul unless they really lift their elbow. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree, but again, we need to make things easier for the athletes
Yeah.
with the equipment. Yeah.
I also thought about this topic for a very long time alone. So I basically what I got from it is 2 points. First, if we can utilize the kind of WL pads, not 7x9, 7x7, but softer like WL pads, it would solve a lot of elbow foul problems.
Mhm.
And second, the other rule in PAL and WAF systems, that rule is also being abused a lot. Like you can, if you are losing, you can just lift your elbow and get the restart. That I believe that this should also be kind of prevented somewhat. So what we can do for
But how,
this,
how, how? What's your suggestion to eliminate that thing?
my suggestion for
I
right
think
now,
they do this for that is why they do the running foul. That's why when I say that the guy is losing and then he's lifting his elbow, you know what I mean?
yes,
So
yes,
you can see that, I mean, we can't write everything that we realize. You know, the guy
Right.
is losing and he's lifting his elbow. I mean, you can differ this than, you know, the small jump that you can understand from the, if you are a referee, you can differ. So if the guy is losing and lifting his elbow, I don't know,
So,
whatever, you know, it's
but
a different subject, you know.
what I was trying to suggest is, but I got from Zill's conversation with you, I think the elbow foul is called a loss in, like, the losing part from neutral to pin pad is divided in three parts: one, two, and three. So in the third
Yeah,
corner, in the third sector, if you elbow foul there, this is what I got from that conversation, then it will be called a loss. Is there a rule? Some,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So that from only the last part, that
yeah,
distance
yeah,
could be
yeah.
increased to two parts from three parts. That on not only the last losing
Yeah,
position
yeah,
could be.
but there is, it depends, you know, if that's intentional or not. You can be there, but you can still have the advantage. Your arm may be there, but you
Right.
took the risk there. At that point, you're coming back, and your elbow may jump. So that is where the intentional foul plays role. You know what I mean?
But if you're on
Yeah, I mean,
two-third on the losing side, I
no, no,
believe.
no, no, not always like this. But listen, you showing that arm being that part, like to open your arm, you can be like this even with your shoulder together. You can be like this. Yeah,
Leaning to the
the
side.
guy. I mean, just like for example, Arthur Makarov in 2018. There is one match that Mindaugas beat him, one match, and then Arthur beat him twice and win the gold. But the first final match, Mindaugas stopped Arthur like very near to the pad, and then with his shoulder, and then from there he lifted and he went to win. You understand? So just because you are there, it doesn't mean that you are losing. You understand? It, I mean, it is. We need to talk more about, you know,
Yes.
to real. I mean, to define, you know, like if it is while losing, just because you are in that part, you are saying the halfway to the losing way, just because you elbow foul, you lose the match. Come on, it's too much.
No, why I said that, because I obviously have not arm wrestled a lot to understand this. So I'm asking you as a question.
Yeah,
When you are on this side, on the so-called losing
yeah,
side, isn't your elbow planted like more weight on the elbow pad compared to winning side? Winning
yeah,
side,
yeah.
your
But
elbow can float.
it may be drop from the side
Yes,
of the
dropping
pad as
can,
well.
but
You know.
dropping can happen. But I believe on this side, lifting your elbow, it is kind of very difficult when you are on the losing side. It could be difficult, in
No,
my opinion.
anything can happen. Anything can happen. You know, a sudden pressure change even can cause this. Even a sudden pressure change can make you jump. Or you can be like this. You know, sometimes you are at your max pressure to each other, and then at that point you hit. You think that it's gonna come. It doesn't come, so it makes your elbow a little bit jump there. You know, not always intentional. You know, it is just, trust me, it is not that simple to say that all of them are in this category. You know,
But
yeah,
some fouls,
we need.
are really obvious. Like my all of Michael
Yes,
Todd's
yes, yes,
matches,
yes, 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 yes. Exactly. I agree with you. Yeah, yeah,
all of Michael
yeah.
Todd's matches in PL against Denis Siplenkov, against Pushkar, against Truban, almost all of them at least two times intentionally like lifted, slide their elbow off the pad to restart the match.
Versus Michael Todd, right?
Yes,
Versus
versus
Michael
Michael
Todd.
Todd. Right.
Yeah, yeah, because the rule was that if you make different rule, probably maybe they wouldn't do, they would have different strategy. But it is interesting that, you know, a lot of people are getting prepared for the rules than actually focusing on just
Match.
holding the effing arm and then bring it down, you know. Yeah,
Right.
a lot of, you know, people, yeah.
Yeah, rules
I
only
mean,
kind
I
of
would
matter in
care
close
if the
matches.
rule was telling me to start in a hook, I would just say, what the fuck, you know, just
Yeah.
let my wrist start straight, you know. But, you know, yeah, I wouldn't really care about that. I mean, if the guy is beating me close to win, you know, I mean, I have done it too. I have done it,
Yes,
that
yes.
intentional foul too. But I'm just saying that I mean, I would never ever go to an arm wrestling match with a plan, you know, like like to foul in this point, to do this. I always just 100% focus on winning the guy, you know, but winning against the guy. If we go back to the John match, come on,
Yes, yes, yes.
we went so far from that match, you know.
So my question is, if John, like you also brought that, so you kind of already answered it. If John cannot beat Dimitri Kachan, Paul Lin, and Chancho outside of straps, How is he? Like the number one game that John was relying on in this match is his speed and explosivity. And he himself
Yeah.
admits that with his age, it is almost kind of gone. Very little
Yes,
explosivity
yes,
left.
yes,
So the
yeah. But
biggest
people say it's
weapon.
excuse. People say it's excuse.
Yeah.
Come on, your 0 to 60, you know, speed to reach your max power from here to the hand. In the
Yes.
past, like I was feeling like my brain is in my hand. Just like I would close my hand and just like a computer in my hand. Now, I mean, it's not like that. Just the signals are coming so slow. That is why probably John losing the wrist. It is not because it's weak, but it is the nerve system is not like as healthy as his young years. So if he's not reacting quick enough, it gives Devon to apply more pressure because of having more time to reach higher level of his power. Even he is slow guy, he's not so quick guy, but still that is. But maybe those three guys that we mentioned, maybe all three could be faster than Devon. Maybe. What
Right.
do you think?
Chan Shaw,
Like,
Chen Shaw was in Florida tournament. A couple of guys that he beat, he was after the start, he was like almost here. Then he brought him back. Yes, they can sure
who,
beat
who?
faster than Devon. I don't remember that guy's name. It was a very recent tournament, just a few days ago, maybe four or
Yeah,
five
yeah,
days
yeah.
ago.
But listen, even the number 150 guy in the
Can be
world,
fast,
maybe faster than number one in the guy, I mean, in the
right?
world, number one guy in the world. So, but Devon is not known with his explosiveness. But I think still, as you said, John will not be able to control him without strap.
I've watched John's all of his matches very closely in last 6 months. Starting from the Utah tournament where he competed, he beat Cody Merritt first time in that tournament, and in almost all of the matches except a couple of guys, John is always catching, always catching. He is never
Yeah,
able to hit in almost all of the
yeah,
starts. In super matches, he had 10, 12 starts. He was never the one hitting. Almost always catching. And another point is that Chanshaw, John himself admitted that not Chanshaw, Paul Lin. Against in the Paul Lin match in round two, John said that he was not trying to hook. Paul Lin forced him in a hook. So if Paul Lin can force John in a hook, can't Devon do that
yeah,
in the
yeah,
straps? And Paul Lin almost took John to the pad. He was trying everything. That is why he got that bruise on his arm after that match.
yeah,
And there was a practice, I'm assuming, and I know it doesn't really matter because in practice you don't really know who was tired and who was more prepared, who started 15
yeah.
minutes earlier, who showed up late. So
Talking
but
about what, Derek Smith, or
not Derek Smith. I saw a practice poll between Storm Shelino and Devon Larratt. It was almost 9-10 months ago, maybe a year ago. And Devon was like literally very easily controlling, like a stone wall. Devon wasn't moving when Shelino was
oh,
trying everything.
with who?
Storm Shelino. Storm, you
Oh,
remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Storm Salino. He had some
yeah.
matches against RVG, and so Paulin and Storm are kind of similar level, I believe. They're also training partners. They live close to each
Oh,
other, I guess.
talking about the
Strength,
strength, or talking
strength,
about the,
only
listen,
strength.
listen. I think that Pauline that pulled John, in my opinion,
He
was
was
the best
heaviest.
ever Pauline. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't a regular one. I think that Pauline was very, very strong that day. Yeah, and
but
also just that your analyses are very, very good, very, very good. But sometimes they may have some missing parts.
right.
Like Devon to come to the match with Paul, and Devon, sorry, John to come a match to face Paul, and John to come a match to face Devon.
Devon.
Uh, different concentration, different motivation, different, like
Right.
how much, like even John said that he didn't so much like take he didn't take Pauline so much as a threat.
Right.
Yeah, but he surprised him. So he didn't really go there like with the focus that he's gonna pull like Devon Larratt. So John, I believe now is stronger, more focused, more prepared than his Pauline match right now. He is. But again, we're talking about Devon, and so as you said, I see only the first round. Other than that, I don't really see. But different matches. Do you follow football? How do you call football over there? You call soccer or football? You call?
Football. We call it football.
Yeah, football. Like your favorite team, like my favorite team in the league here in the nation may play a match, with a regular team, but there is also they call derby match, like very high level. You
Yes.
understand? Like Real Madrid last week may lose to some team in Spain, but next week is the like Barcelona match. You understand? So that is different. You understand?
Right.
Preparation. You go there different. You understand? What's they call El Clasico? They call it. Yeah, yeah.
But there is only about very little gap, less than 2 months gap between these two matches. So you are also a professional arm wrestler for a very long time. How much do you think with good preparation you can gain? Like John has gained at least 15, 20 pounds, 15 pounds from the Chan show. He was about 235
Mm.
against, sorry, Paulin. He was against about 235 and now he's over 250 pounds. But during that 1 and 1.5 month, how much of that can be muscle and strength? So how much can you gain
Yeah, yeah,
in
but
such a short
do
time?
you understand it? The example that I gave you one before had nothing to do with the
Mentality,
power.
that mentality.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's how you carried yourself there. You
Right,
understand? I
right.
mean, you just go there. You. I don't know. I mean, how to say? Have you ever seen the tractor? The back part of the tractor fall on a guys, and then mother came and lifted the
Yes.
backside of the tractor to save the kid. Just tell that mother to do that on a regular day. Can't even move. Probably would just like, I mean, even you give money, can't do it. But what I'm just saying that sometimes your body can produce more with a more focus. You understand? You may focus more. You can do something greater. So that is why. But also it's same application for Devon too. Devon is
Right.
not going there. But the Devon that we saw last time wasn't Pauline. It was Michael Todd. But probably he had the maybe even more for that match
Because
because
he was coming from a
John,
loss.
everyone knows that here. Yeah, John is not the favorite here.
Right.
You understand? Devon, sorry, but doesn't have much to gain in this match, but he has a lot to lose in this match.
Yes.
While Michael Todd defeated Devon in 2018, I think, right? And now,
18.
and then now Devon had to beat him, to get his,
Revenge.
prestige back. You understand? So that is it was different for. So now I can say that John's motivation is probably a little bit higher than Devon normally if it didn't get a little bit personal lately. If everything went just so good, if John told him that you are a nice guy, you are favorite, but I will do my best, it would be different. But after, oh, you beat me in 2018 because of you tired my hand. That is how you do, this and that, and then all that, pressure comes from the John side, the fan base, to the Devon side. I think that also pissed Devon a little bit.
Right.
So it became a little bit personal as well. At least it looks like that way.
But maybe just like the Michael match, what Devon had the motivation because he lost his match against Michael in 2018, and he himself
Yeah.
saw before the match, he himself was saying that Michael should be the favorite in this match because he lost to him back then. But we can also look at it, and in this match, Devon also lost the last match to John. He also wants that
Yeah, but no,
image.
nobody sees John as a favorite.
Right.
I think
That
that
is the
only
difference.
people loves him so much. They want him to win. But if they are thinking healthy, you understand? John is not favorite. John himself says this.
Yes.
John
One
himself
round.
says that he's going there for 1 or 2 rounds to win. This is what he's even even privately when I talk with him, he didn't seem like he's just gonna go and beat the guy. But John is not a dream. You know what made John so good? Because he's a realistic guy. He's not a bullshitter. He's not. He doesn't believe. He doesn't say anything that he doesn't believe. And then if he believes in something, he's saying. Like he knows his limits. Like people are just so much like forcing him. Oh, if you beat Devon, How about Levan? He was just saying like, like no way, but that the constant pressure made him like, oh, okay, let me try him in the practice and then I will
Practice.
tell you. I mean, come on, just that your hand just barely holding, Kashan and this and that. Maybe it's better now. Maybe he will also control Devon's hand.
And
But come on, you're talking about the guy is just like not a normal person, just like, I mean, probably John is just being nice and not to upset his fans. I
right.
think that he doesn't just want to kill the hopes.
And
That's what I believe.
someone asked John what would be in future for you if you lose to Devon. And John politely replied that I have lost before also. It is not something new to me. So nothing would change for me.
Of course, yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
really
yeah.
good reply.
There are many people waiting there, to declare Devon, oh, greatest of all time, you beat John or something, just, I mean, there are like countless factors, to have that statue of being greatest of all time, and then, other than John, including myself, we all are far from that statue, just as I always say, you put John Brzenk number one, and then you leave empty space till number 10, and then you can count whoever you want, 11, 12, 13, but there is nothing, no second, no third, no fourth. You can say second this guy, but I'm just trying to, I mean, I can tell you now hours about him. He is not my best friend.
Right.
He's not from my country. I don't even have his phone number, and we don't have same religion. We are not neighboring country. Nothing, we have nothing. I mean, I have no reason to tell about him what I don't believe. Everything I say about him is what I believe, and I can put enough of facts to support it. But it would just take a long time, you understand? So, like, but one single thing I can say, arm wrestling, if you go arm wrestling history, it wasn't only about super match. Super match is a new era.
Mm.
Was most of the arm wrestling
Tournaments.
was tournaments, yeah, of course. And then by not winning any top single tournament, you know, beating a guy in a super match is good. Devon has won and has lost super match as well, But competing in a weight class with many different top guys with different skills, some with the endurance, some with explosiveness, some hook, some go deadlift, some, and then being able to defeat all this in one event and being victorious many times for decades is something different skill, understand?
Yes.
Which Devon didn't do it. Devon is a great guy. He's one of the greatest arm wrestlers. Whenever I say these things, people just being hateful, you understand? Oh, like this. I say this to Devon face to face as well, Has nothing to do. And but he misses that part. But it doesn't mean that he's not one of the. He's probably the best super match player ever. I also agree about he's not being like enough in the Eastern competition against, because like most of the guys are from the East. When you talk about the very best guys,
Right.
but without beating them for decades, it's just hard to claim that statue. If Devon deserves it. Devon is the greatest ambassador of the sport. If arm wrestling is at this point, it is number one reason is Devon, because he made it us in the social media. He's an opening window to the rest of the world. There are other windows too now, but he is the one who started. He made arm wrestling very popular. So, and he is again one of the greatest uh, arm wrestler ever. But about as I said, I wouldn't. Um, I think he has missed that train, about being greatest of all time.
Right. And he also loves arm wrestling just like you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, his passion for arm wrestling, his willingness to help people, I mean, I do very well with him, except the desperation move thing. But people think it's a new thing, and people think that the argument started newly because of he used it. It has nothing to do. When I was arguing with him 15 years ago, more than 15 years ago, at the Northeast message board, it was the arm wrestling world's heart was beating there. Cobra was there, Sharon Hermes, John Brzenk, Rambet, Cleveland, rest in peace. Like everyone was there. Ellen Fisher, Devon Larratt, Igor Mazurenko. We all were the Imagine a forum. We all were member of that forum. And then years and years we discussed that, years and years about arm wrestling. And then even we were arguing about it. Mostly the subject was about Crazy George, and then, pulling that way.
Yes.
And then, so it has nothing to do. So in his defense, I can say that Devon didn't start defending the desperation move after he started to use. He was defending even 15 years ago. And in my defense, I was against it, not after Devon started. I was even 15 years ago. So we are sticking with our with what we believe, nothing against each other, nothing personal.
Right now, when we were audio is stuck. Right now, when we were talking about John Brzenk, a crazy thought came into my mind, and I have never said that before, and I have never even heard anyone saying that before. So, why John Brzenk became the GOAT? Why is he the GOAT? Mostly because he went everywhere, competed everywhere, and defeated everyone. I think that is the primary reason. And
Yeah.
I think a lot.
His heart, braveness
Yes.
was greater than all of us.
Right. And I think
he wasn't afraid. He had the super heavyweight. Don't forget your word. He had the super heavyweight title, PAL title, and then he had the 95 kg PAL title. He was so crazy. He challenged Rustem Baba with 86 kilo. He was losing weight. He was 89 kilo already. Rustem said he got injured.
Right.
And then that's why. But you understand? I went to Petaluma. I won 5 out of 10 weight classes in the World Wrestling Championships. Next year he also won the 5 weight classes. He wanted to he was like a Superman, not because he was 100% successful, but he was not afraid of anyone. He didn't play safe. He went to Japan to face Kanayi, Soviets to face Zaur. He went to Moscow to face Alan Karev, Poland to face Ferit, Pushkar, Denis, whatever, you just say, hello, John. He was coming there, He wasn't like, oh, let me think, if the award is as he deserves, of course, he's not stupid, he's not going to just fly, go and come back a day and then spend so many days and without getting what he deserved. Of course, he had his own prize money, on his mind. So if those conditions come, and then he was going and pulling it. He wasn't afraid. Whatever weight class, he was going down 86. He was going up to 200 kilo guy,
Right.
Sorry about it. Sorry.
No,
If you talk about John, I just,
It is your show. It is your show. So
yeah, sorry.
I was trying to say that a lot of credit to John's greatness could also be given to his job. Like for most people, for most arm wrestlers, their job is kind of a hindrance. It prevents them from training or going to places. But for John has clearly said that he only went to money tournaments almost most of the time. He only has, I think, only one WAF title, left-handed, 1999. And even then he said that he competed in that tournament because it was a requirement to win there, to win in WAF, to compete in some other money tournament. I don't know the exact name.
Yeah.
So he was able to
$5,000.
Yeah. So he mainly went to money tournaments, and his airline, Delta Airlines, his work, he said that it helped him a lot. He was easily able to travel. Like, for example, if the tickets would have been $1,000, $2,000, and there was some tournament and the prize money was $4,000. So John may not have gone there if he had not been working in that Delta Airlines. But since he was able to move to free, I'm not saying that Delta Airlines took him to everywhere. Obviously, most of the tournaments he would have went by his own money. Like one airline cannot operate everywhere. That is what I'm assuming. But most of the times he was helped. Many times he was helped with his airlines. He went there for maybe some lesser money or for free. So that was really, really beneficial for John. Maybe he would not have traveled that much. Maybe now he has 500 titles. If he was not working in airlines, maybe he would have had
Trust me,
300 titles.
trust me. No, no, trust me. People who invited John would also pay his plane ticket. Just trust me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
trust me. Yeah. And then if they didn't pay it, probably they increase the prize money since he's covering his own.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So you are paying. I'm assuming you are also paying for his flight, obviously.
Of course. Of
Yes,
course,
sir.
yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah. I
we
mean,
can.
if you are inviting John, how are you gonna not cover his expenses? Just
Right.
come on. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
I don't see any like best ever athletes in the world in any kind of sport and competing and not making money in his pro career. I don't think so. It's a very normal thing.
yeah, when anyone makes money from arm wrestling, I'm the most happiest person in this world. Even
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
more happier in that. I really like when any arm wrestler makes
yeah.
money. So let's get back to the prediction. So what is your percentage for this match? I have Devon Larratt as a heavy favorite, and I've also put my
Devon
one
Larratt is
hundred
gonna win.
dollars. Devon is going
Devon
to win.
Larratt is going to win. Yeah, he's gonna win. Yeah, but the question has never really been that, right?
Right. Never.
The only question, if John is going to win any rounds or not, that is the question. As I said, one round, 70% John, 30% Devon, round one.
Right.
And if he is in the good side of the buckle, because even it makes difference or not, in his mind, it does. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we should consider this as it does, because for him it does. So if he wins round one, then next round I say 50-50. If he loses round one, next round he still may have chance for trying something different. It depends on how exhausted he will be on round one. Yeah, that is all about round one. I mean, sometimes I'm thinking, like arm wrestling, like if it is about John, I mean, if someone else was there with the same strength of Devon, but with not that experience and with the high table IQ like Devon has, then I would say that maybe John can do something more than we are thinking. But when you talk about Devon, you are also talking about um, very smart guy, and he also knows John very well, and so it is very hard to expect a huge surprise unless Devon is in a shitty shape. John is much better than we expect. Still, it is even in 2015. If it was a super match, it was like 6 rounds, and if it's 3-3, the 7 rounds, I don't think that John could beat Devon for 3 or 4 rounds. 2 rounds, 3 rounds, yeah, yes, but I don't know.
If you remember the 2015 match, the first round where John beat Devon, Devon was first trying to go for a hook, then he quickly realized that it is not going to work. Then after that, he tried to slip. Or I think in both of the rounds, maybe that's why he got beat. And since that, if you followed Devon, if you heard what he was trying to say, he has always been talking about letting go. Do not hold on to everyone. Just let go. Get to the straps. He has always been promoting the letting go thing, like moving to the straps since after that match. You may have heard Devon say that many times. Do not
Okay.
hold on to anyone. Do not hold on.
I don't really follow. Yeah, I mean, you will not believe it. I'm not really watching YouTube videos.
Okay.
Like 99.9% of the videos, I'm not watching. The video that I constantly, I mean, the videos I constantly follow is John's videos, but sometimes I miss it. But most of them, usually he posts during the sleep. I mean, because it's here is nighttime, and then he does on the late evening because of the time difference. So whenever I wake up, I see his video with the breakfast. I put it and I watch it. But Devon's videos about promoting sleep or something, I didn't really follow.
Yes.
Yeah, but he said he was ready for him in 2016 to beat him. So probably he believed in his So if he's that good, then he for sure will sleep from John, even if there is no strap rule. If there was no strap rule.
Yeah, so I think Devon will win this match 6-0 because of mainly because he will be very careful with the slip in round one at least. And I
He's
think
not gonna. Do you think he's gonna sleep?
round one, yes, definitely I do think that.
Do you think he's not gonna try to go to direct strap?
Maybe not in first round. Even a couple of days
Why?
ago,
Why? But that,
I'll tell you why.
that's the most risky round. No.
Round one,
Yeah, I mean, if you are gonna go to strap,
right?
I mean, you should do that while John is very fresh. After John get exhausted, I mean,
Devon, a couple of days ago, Devon, in the interview, in the latest interview, Core Sports interview, I think Devon
yeah.
exactly answered this question. He said, "For me, winning is primary. The style bonus, you can win this way, you can win without straps, you
Okay.
can control. It is
Okay.
everything for him after he has won 4 rounds." He clearly mentioned that.
Okay, but then you are proving what I said to be right. Then he should just try to go to a straight strap, while not gripping, and then put the strap. Why would he try to sleep in round one if he's
I will
gonna
not
risk everything after round four?
I will
Huh?
not be surprised at all if Devon really tries to go to straps in round one without taking a grip
I
or
understand.
or
Okay,
without.
but no. I think we don't understand. He will slip his hand, or he will just act like he's gripping and then go to strap.
So first, I think it is going to happen, but what you just said. But if he sees that the referee is strict and he can foul, then I think he will attempt to slip if it comes to that situation. But maybe it will
Yeah,
not come to
but
that
is it
situation.
three foul system
Yes,
or
yes,
two foul system?
three foul system. Another
Come
thing,
on, he will never reach the three fouls. Come on.
yes, another thing
No.
that I really don't like. You have already kind of made up for the elbow fouls, the that kind of end the interesting matches with the running foul system. Still, you don't need. I don't think you need three fouls. Running foul is enough. Running fouls plus three fouls, like it is a lot. Like it is almost impossible to get fouled out if you are a little bit careful. Running fouls plus three fouls.
Mm. I mean,
So
I think when you say running fouls, like he can have one foul already during the grip, and
yes.
then he can have two fouls during the running foul, and then it will be three. If you don't have, then during the running foul, they will count till the three fouls.
Can you say that again?
No, what I'm just saying that, like you get a running foul one time, and then one more time you do during the same, and one more time is three foul during the
Loss.
same running foul. You
Loss.
lost, yeah. But
Yes.
you can have one foul during the grip, and
Yes.
then only two times foul during the running foul. It will be
Still
three
loss.
foul
Yes.
anyways.
No.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
loss. Yeah. Three foul loss.
So then what's the difference? Too much. You said that. Total is three foul there or there. It doesn't matter.
But I was talking about the like the running foul is primarily to prevent good matches, good long matches from ending with small fouls. That is the basic reason why running fouls exist. So it kind of
Mhm.
already makes up for some mistakes. If you did a mistake, you still have some time to apply pressure in that match. So it kind of makes up for that that surprise, that super match, that match killer, that small fouls. Still, you are applying three fouls after that. I think, can you understand what I'm saying? These two things really don't match really well. Like if you already have running foul, the match is not ending after a foul. It can still finish. The other guy can still win, and still you have three fouls. So running fouls plus three fouls, it kind of gets. You can really exploit that rule. Three fouls are way too much, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm always used to two fouls. I don't know why there are three fouls, but I don't know the reason. I think they
Entertainment,
discussed about it. Huh? What?
entertainment, long matches. That's the only reason that I can think of. For mainly for public, mainly for viewers. And
I don't see any. I don't know. I mean, if you want to, entertain the public, just, I mean, I don't know. You can even be more radical. I mean, maybe a intentional foul being a direct loss would even eliminate the possibility, or at least reduce the possibility of doing intentional foul. You know what I mean?
yes, yes.
If there was more strict rules, then you couldn't be easily just lifting your elbow like this and then get advantage or something, because you know that it's gonna be automatic loss. So you would fight to the end. You
But
understand?
very like and rules are like everyone is having different rules, so it is kind of very difficult to implement one thing all over the world. And I don't really see that every league following same rules. In America, the leagues have like WL rules, UAL rules, NAL rules. I don't know how many rules are there. Why do we need to have so many rules? I just don't understand that part. Why cannot we agree on one fixed set of rules that has always been?
I think that they all think differently about entertaining people.
Right.
Yeah, but looks like there is no single definition of entertaining, since there are so many rules.
Right.
Because the ones that you just counted all are pro organizations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was talking about the
I think we shouldn't talk so much about the rules.
rules. Yeah.
Rules are always confusing. Because I am not used to, if we talk about the PAL rules or the WAF rules, not exactly PAL rules, but the WAF rules. I'm very knowledgeable about these rules. I never even try to learn. I don't have any intention to pull under those rules. Anyways.
So the another reason why I was saying 6-0 for Devon is that I don't think the speed and explosivity that John Brzenk has lost is going to magically come back in just 1.5 months. So I think Devon can stop the match center. And I will not be surprised if Devon is even able to match John's speed and explosivity in this match, because I don't really see John Brzenk anymore as a very explosive or fast top roller. And I kind of get the argument where you said that it is a bigger motivation for John, a different match, big match, so he can create something different out of it. But still, I would not be surprised at all if Devon is even able to match John's speed in center. So I won't be surprised if
But
the match stops.
do you realize that Jones hand speed is not that good, but his reactions within the match is quick. The way that he the transition to the shoulder pressure, when he bring, I think, Dimitri from here, he bring it here and then he turn and he press with the shoulder. That his body
Yes.
movement within the match was really quick, but the hand speed, just you know hand reaction is not as it used to be. This is what I see. But maybe that is coming too. I think maybe it is something about the nerves, and maybe there are some treatment about it. It's not illness, but it is the natural process of aging.
Right. I
Yeah.
I was hearing to someone speak. I don't remember who I was listening to, but someone said that you can start losing your speed, your explosivity, the nervous system, the quick reactions as soon as 26 years of age. These things can start declining. You can start getting slower even when you are 26, 27 years old, and it drastically keeps decreasing about 1%, maybe half percent every year.
It depends, how much damage you have. I don't think that it is exactly certain age that you come 26 and everyone is going down. It is about, I think, how good you took care of everything, including your brain, and then I think it's about that. But it is, trust me, it is so much about the concentration. Trust me. It is about like I'm 47 years old. I am, how to say, like everything is terrible. You understand? From like my neck, in 2012 I almost became paralyzed with the left side. My chest get melted, shoulder, lat, the arm
Yeah.
was like 30 something. It was just bone was left there because the signal didn't go, and they said that there was a possibility to me to become paralyzed, and then
Same thing
they did
happened to
so
me.
many yeah, same thing, same many things. They did it with the dry needling and other some neural therapy and many things. So I still have damage with the neck and with the upper back. The signals come into the hand, and but just watch my matches. Do you think that my reaction is slow?
No, you're definitely not in the Arthur Makarov match. You were faster than him
Not in
every
the
time.
not in the VRL match. Even the first match that I lost to Arthur, just watch the round one. He was quick too. I was as well. Just watch my match with Mindaugas. Just watch my last WAF win in 2018. My reaction is good. It is about the concentration. It's about how much you can lock yourself. But it depends on like how much you care about, you know. Sometimes it is very easy thing for you, a daily thing, you understand? But sometimes it is about how much do you want, you understand? How much do you want to do something? If you so much care to do it, the motivation, you understand?
Right.
Then you can bring your A game there. So I think John is gonna bring his A game, but I don't know how much it will be enough.
And sometimes how much you are involved, your reaction, maybe sometimes someone is angry, anger also kind of increases your speed and explosivity. Like I've seen you during the starts, it is you are always aggressive during the starts. Some guys can be cool and calm, like Yanis Omolins. He'll be really cool, really calm, and he will still be fast off the go. But for some guys it is really
I
difficult.
think
Some guys will be,
I think he's not cool, you know, but he lives some things in himself, you know. That's a little bit personality. Some shows out, some doesn't. Like John lives in himself, but
yes,
as you said, you know, right now I think he's also built up. I think he's because of the pressure of this match, now he got involved with social media and he can be provocated, you understand? And so in him there is a giant sleeping, and I believe the giant is awake. So don't expect him to go to Devon match as he did to Pauline match.
right,
Pauline is super strong, but John is going to Devon match with a different mindset, you know. But that is why I'm saying that the round one, I'm sure that he will give his all to win there. I think he is going there just to pull Devon one round. I think he's going there with that mindset. He will think about it the other
rematch.
5 rounds. No, he thinks about the other 5 rounds separately. He doesn't,
Right.
like, if I were him, I would go like that. I would just go there like one round. I will pull with Devon. Yeah, that's if you think about all 6 rounds, your mind will be, oh, what to
Directed
do
there.
after this. There is nothing. There is no 5 rounds. 1 round. So he will go probably round, and then that 1 round. And I think that Devon is going with that mindset as well, because he also know that later rounds are his rounds. So he is going there to stop John in the round one. That's why I asked him, you know, are you going to try to stop John, or are you planning to just dominate him and beat him? You know, do you really believe that you will just go all and then win, or you are afraid and then try to somehow, you know, stop him being defensive? Because sometimes when you are also offensive, you know, it is risky, you know, when you are trying to pin a guy, then if you can't, then you may even lose your own angle, you
Right.
know. So yeah, so going totally for winning and going with the control by expecting something big, you know, is different thing. So I don't know how it will be. But I asked him, what are you planning to do? He said, you know, he has all kind of possibilities ready.
Okay.
He
So
said
that
he is now, he can go side, out, in, everything. He said that, like, he's everything is ready. He says, Devon told me.
he even said that if he's able to top roll him easily, then he might even test his hook against Devon.
What's that?
John said that if he is able to top roll Devon easily, then he next round he will go in a hook intentionally against with Devon. He even mentioned that.
Yeah, but just also remember, um, these two athletes, they know each other very well.
Right.
Yeah, they know each other very well. Like for John, those previous 3 guys were unknown, but Devon is known. But the part is that John is also very known to Devon.
Right.
Yeah, but I read some comments, you know, very weird that, you know, John touched Devon's hand, and some guy wrote there, oh, people doesn't realize, but Devon learned about John a lot of things that people cannot learn in like 5 years or something. Come on, just there's nothing like this. Just because he touches your hand,
Yes.
wow. I reach all your database now.
Yeah, it's magical
It's not,
movie thing going on.
yeah, just comical, just very comical because they are touching each other and then, I mean, learning everything or just they didn't even grip up, And I mean, come on, Devon didn't learn about John in last 17 years, but now he started, or even 20 years that now he started to learn because he accidentally touched his finger, and then,
That is it.
oh, wow, now I know all your secrets, John, because my hand touched you. Comical people, and then and other people just puts a like to the comment. They are like, oh yeah, yeah, now because Devon has superpowers, by touching the finger. Now he knows exactly how much pronation power he has, how much riser power, everything he got it. He got that info. He reached that database. You know,
Yeah,
he's a virus.
it did the same against Denis Siplenkov also. They went both hands, right and left, one day before the match,
Yeah,
almost 70,
yeah,
80% power, both hands, and it didn't work.
yeah, yeah. No, no. I mean, come on. Like, like, do you think that you can trick John? You can't. I mean, you're gonna beat John only if you are strong enough, and then
Right.
choose the right direction to pull against him. There is no secret in arm wrestling. There is nothing like. I mean, you can fool a beginner or something or someone lower level, but you're talking about John, just touching his fingers. You don't like reach some secrets to win the match or something. These guys probably thinking that they are watching a science fiction, movie or something. Just I mean, it's not. I have been playing for 30 years, and then you can ask both of those guys if I know about arm wrestling or not. There is nothing like that. They may be playing that game. Maybe they want to say that if I touch somebody's hand, did he say something like this? I don't know.
No, no, no.
No,
I
probably
never
he
say
wouldn't. If
that.
he said it, he's just pulling their legs. There's nothing like this.
So that kind of sums up the king of the table 2 talk. But I made a post on my channel asking the arm wrestling fans some questions for Neil Pickup and you, and surprisingly almost 90% of the questions for you. Very few questions were for Neil Pickup, so he isn't there, so not a problem. So I'll ask some questions, maybe you can give some quick answers. Ace Kon says, would Alan Zoloev be a good match for Engin? Because last time Engin defeated Arthur Makarov in 2 rounds until he conceded the match because of his bicep injury. So he wants to ask, would Alan Zoloev be a good match for you?
First of all, can I tell you something?
Right.
Do,
Of
do
course.
you do you remember how much did you think that this show was going to take?
20 minutes and 2 hours almost.
Yeah, and now how much?
Almost 2 hours, maybe more than 130 at least.
But I didn't ask this question to you because of complaining, because I enjoy it.
Right.
I love our message.
I
Yeah,
also,
yeah, yeah. You can. I can talk like 5 hours until my wife says, enough.
Neil Pickup, I don't
Yeah.
know if you heard that or not. Neil Pickup said that about you. Even like if you're a beginner or very new fan in arm wrestling, maybe when you start talking with Engin Terzi about arm wrestling, even a beginner would say that I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. I want to go to bed. But Engin would keep talking about arm wrestling. This is how much
Well, it
dedication he has for
depends.
the
It
sport.
depends. It depends. Trust me. It depends on
Interesting
the
conversation.
person that who I am talking to. No, no, not with everyone. Like
Right.
you know what you are talking about. You
Yes.
are
Yes.
not the world level arm master,
Yes.
but for sure you are following.
Yes.
You may be missing some parts because you are not experienced enough.
Only
Because
2 3 years experience. Right.
watching some things and then living some things are sometimes different.
Right.
You may be missing some parts, but your observations are very very good.
Right.
Like I follow the things that you are saying. You are all makes sense. All makes sense. The things. So that
Thanks.
is why
Thanks.
I enjoy. About Alan Zole, I asked Arthur about it. I said, Arthur, did you realize that some people say that Alan beat Arthur easily? It's not. Three matches took 2 minutes and 15 seconds,
Yeah.
and Alan had the control. Arthur was not able to go anywhere. But that's not the problem. The problem is when Arthur is rowing his, elbow back, and with the pronator, when you want to go, your wrist is going like this, and just watch the end of the, not the one that they went to hook in the first final match, but if you watch the qualification round and the second final match, you see Arthur just roll, not didn't go like
Right.
this, but go that way, and then when Alan tried to finish the match, his wrist was like this at the end, and his arm was like open like this. So
He waited to tire
um,
him in all the rounds almost.
yeah. So what he had the control, but he couldn't finish it. So I watched my match, those 2 rounds before my bicep injury. I also couldn't curl Arthur's pronator in, but my wrist was flat, while Arthur's pronator was like this at the end. You understand, like this. Especially the second round when I hurt my bicep. Here they were like this. So I am not. I am thinking that my wrist solidness is not any less than Alan Zolev's. Yeah, yeah, and but the guy is young, is improving. I asked Arthur, but I didn't ask lately. I asked him before our super match, what do you think about I versus Alan Zolev? He said, you are much more experienced. You would beat him. He told me that I would beat Alan Zolev. But this is a young guy. Even 6 months, he makes so much
Gains, right?
difference. So his future is so bright. So I think that he may go even 80 kilo. He versus Bojidar would be a good match because of the endurance. And I'm thinking that Alan Zolev is stronger than Bojidar. But if somehow it goes to the endurance game, maybe later rounds, maybe something. But I think that if Alan goes to 80 kilo, he's gonna win 80 kilo as well.
And Alan, as far as I remember, I think he's only 21 years old, right?
71, yeah.
Very young, very young.
Yeah. I think his name in English, Alan, you would call, but I think in Russian, I think Alan.
Alan, okay.
Alan, yeah.
Another
Same as Alan Karayev.
Alan Karayev, right?
Yeah.
Another question for you from Khan Turk. Will there be other matches in East versus West event? Addition to that, Viral Dobrin won 85 kilos WAF, and we also saw Engin's 6-0 victory over Viral recently. What are his plans after Brzenk match, left and right-handed? What are your plans after John Brzenk match?
There will be another match addition. I'm thinking, some other matches, but if it is not set, so I don't want to mention. But we recently Morozov versus Cody Merritt, and there may be a few more, but it's not set yet. I think Ivan Matushenko, Sasho's chest is injured.
Right.
Probably he cannot pull that. He didn't even pull off. He was injured even before his match with Rob Visions. And so I asked to Ivan. Ivan said that he can't, he's very interested, but he needs more time to prepare for Hutchings' style. And he said he has a little bit minor elbow problem. So I'm just thinking of someone very strong for Hutchings. He also knows. He asked me, which one do I think stronger? Ivan Matushenko or the guy that I'm planning to set him? And I said, the other guy. And he said, yeah, set me that guy. I want for the big one. And he just was like, I said, if you beat that guy, the world will be shaking, And he said, yeah, I want that one. I love those kind of people that when, Matushenko is hard enough opponent, very strong guy, Matushenko. And if he would pull against him and beat him, it's already a big job to beat Matushenko. But if to target someone even stronger, and then, it is not front of everyone. This argument wasn't front of everyone that, he would try to look like, he's not scared. I asked him, do you want to pull this guy or that guy? He said, which one is stronger? This guy. So I want that stronger one. So I was like, I love when I see that courage, you understand? This is the spirit of a champion. I can bring Turkey to pull someone light on TV and then beat everyone. But people will say here, people don't know about arm wrestling on the street, watches TV, they, oh, great job. I'm not doing it for that. I want to beat the best guys. Right. Who are the guys that I pull? I pull Mindaugas in the same way we pull in Istanbul. It's not a weak guy at all. He's one of the greatest top rollers.
75
and then I pull Viora Dobrin that just won the worlds. And then I pull Arthur Makarov. We know how strong he is. Right. I was planning to pull Bojidar, also the world champion. So, if you really want to prove something, you need to look for the
Best guys.
the toughest one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have any plans, after John match. Oh yeah, Devon challenged me yesterday. We talked on the video chat as well. He said that. Okay, the thing is, he said he would never disrespect John at the table, and he said, "But Engin, I would to you." He said to me,
Yes.
and
Even
he provocated me. Yeah, he
right.
provocated me. And he's not doing for the show. It was just like one-on-one, video. And I said, you promised that you're gonna go 100 kilo, and I will go 100 kilo. I'm like ripped, maximum 78 kilo guy, but
Right.
I will be just fatty, watery. And we will meet there. You promise, and if you don't keep your promise, I'm gonna cut that video, that part, and then put on social media, and I will write chicken there. He said, don't worry, I will come. Yeah. And then he said, yeah, he wants to beat me. And then when he says disrespect, probably he wants to do those, what they
Yeah.
call dead move or
Dad
something.
move.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. 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 So I may pull him. Yeah, I may pull him. But
Even
since he said this, I'm gonna hit him so hard if we pull. I will either flash pin him or break my humerus bone. I promise you this. I will hit him so hard, as I never hit anyone. I will hit him to break my own humerus. Just write this down.
you know what? If at 100 kilos, you and Devon, I would give you a much higher chance of pinning Devon in round one outside of straps compared to John Brzenk, because you're clearly a lot faster than John Brzenk right now. Maybe he was always
Yeah,
faster
but,
than
but,
him.
but just remember, you're talking about 100 kilo
Yes, 100 kilos,
Devon.
obviously.
Yeah, now John is gonna face someone like very near 130 kilo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Devon is about somewhere between 270 to 274 pounds.
Okay,
So
maybe 125 kilo, 125 kilo
yes, yeah,
probably. Yeah,
125
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So he needs to go down. Yeah, yeah. Any other question?
Yes, one more question. Somebody is also asking about your dream that you wrote on Facebook. He said that you really believe this could happen?
No, no. That is actually when I was sleeping. It was in my dream.
Yes, yes.
That's not what I believe. No, no, that's not what I believe. But there is a possibility.
Right.
Not that Devon would lift his elbow up, but there is a possibility that he may go inside and join Engin on his tornado, and then, yeah, why not?
So
Round one, anything is possible. Anything is possible.
one last question for you, Engin. For Engin, this is coming from Dung Thai. For Engin at King of the Table 3, would you be interested in being the neutral referee for Devon versus Levan match if PAL and Devon can't come to an agreement for choosing a referee? So would you be a referee? And I know you also offered to be a referee in this match also.
I don't think that I don't think that they would want me to ref that match. So yes, I would. I think I'm gonna ref in the Istanbul event as well on February. But yeah, I would, but I don't think they will ask me to do it. So no need to go there. Yeah.
So quickly, just to sum up in last 1 minute, Larry Wheels or Brendan Allen? Only one word.
No, no, don't limit me. Mm-mm. You know what my name is?
But
Boundless. My name is Boundless.
Engin
Engin
means
means
boundless.
boundless.
Okay.
You know what boundless? Yeah, yeah.
So I
So don't
cannot
limit
bound
it.
you to
So
one word.
no, no, no. I am just saying that if it goes to the orthodox arm wrestling, I think Larry is gonna win. But I don't know. It's not easy to predict if the guy is going like this and how Larry would uh,
Adjust.
be pulling against that. Yeah, I don't know how good the guy is, and I don't know. But if they just normal armors, I think Larry has
Right.
better chance.
Okay. Gennady versus Hermes.
The second one is 50-50. Second one is 50-50.
50-50. And John, you have already said that Devon can win
Yeah,
this match in your opinion.
John Devon is gonna win. The chance of 5-1 is 70%. And if that is the first round is, that John wins that, and the second round, John has 50% chance. But minimum round that Devon is gonna win is 4, most likely 5. So I say 5-1 for Devon. without knowing really how they are.
Right.
Do you know where they are? Do you know where Devon is?
Where Devon is? In what terms?
Yeah, but do you know how his trainings went?
Devon, like he has started this recently. He never shows his training videos. Even before the Michael, he kept everything secret. He doesn't show his training.
Now he shows only the left arm training, right?
Right. He never shows his
Yeah,
training right handed.
yeah.
Even I've gone to his YouTube channel. Earlier, about an year ago, he used to post right arm training videos almost regularly, 2, 3 training videos every week. Not just training on the table, but in gym also. And if you go to his channel right now for past 5, 6 months, you will not see any gym training videos right handed. He has stopped
Mhm,
posting them since the Michael match was announced.
mhm, mhm. So that's what I'm saying. That yeah. The only thing we know that he will be. But just remember, they were about 102 kilo in 2015. But on the competition day, probably they were more than 105, 106 kilo.
Yes.
So probably Devon is now 20 kilo heavier than his shape. So that means strength for sure.
No,
And
not
John
20,
also was
not 20 kilos. Right now, Devon is
high.
around 270 pounds. And even then, Devon said when he was competing in WL 225 pounds class, he was cutting from around 240 to 243 pounds. So Devon is only 30 pounds heavier than what he was in
No, 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 no,
2015.
no, no, no. Listen, no, it doesn't work that way. Just because he's cutting from there down to there, it doesn't mean that he is still 245 pounds.
Almost back, but he said that he can
What
lose
do you mean
easily.
almost back? You're saying that from way into competition, he gains 20 kilo?
There
I
is a
mean,
1 day
20
difference,
pounds?
not 20 pounds. There is 1 day difference. So he's going from
Yeah.
242 pounds to 225 pounds. So it is around 17 pounds. So I believe he can gain
So
at least
he's losing 70. He said he's losing 70 pounds in 1 day?
before the competition. Yes, that's what Devon said. He was around 240
In,
pounds.
in last 24 hours, he's losing that much?
Not all of that, or not all of that is water weight, but yeah, I can understand he may start cutting from a month but Devon has always said that he has a good cardio base and he can lose weight really fast.
I understand, but just remember, just because you cut from there, when you go down to 225, you are not as strong as the 245
242,
anymore.
right? Maybe Devon
Yeah,
was on
242.
competition day
But
around.
I'm just saying that. So he was 225, and then on the competition day, he was probably 235.
Yeah,
This is what
that
I'm saying. Yeah.
so
So
so 35 pounds.
that near 20 kilo, yeah, is now heavier. Just say on the way in he was 102 kilo, and then he was 106 kilo or 170 kilo, 7 kilo,
So
and now he's 125, 126 kilo, or near to. He's 20 kilo heavier now.
okay,
And John is also heavier, but John is looking more with water weight.
right.
Yeah, and more fat. Yeah. Pradeep, is sometimes, you don't know what people can gain or lose in last month that you didn't see them.
Yeah.
Mostly what they can gain, mostly. You don't know their preparation. And so it is not that easy to predict. But you are still saying that it will be 6-0, right? And no
Yes.
chance for the round one. And round one, no chance when you say it will be just like total domination like this.
No. Outside of straps, I don't think so. But inside the straps, if round one starts in a strap, I think it can be domination like this inside the straps.
Yeah, so John will move and then they will just look at this race and pin him, huh?
Maybe not that easily, but like Devon, it is not going to be like the 2015 match where John is hitting one time and Devon's wrist is going back, but he's
So
stopping somewhere
you are
here.
saying that John is not, no, Devon's just wasn't like this. Devon was just going inside like
Round
this with that, well, mostly
no
flat,
from
flat wrist.
hook
No,
from
flat
hook
wrist.
it.
And then John went, he couldn't. And then slowly his pronator started turning.
Yes.
So he just went inside as far as I remember.
No,
And
in the
so
first couple of hits, even from a hook, John also almost rolled out of his hand, almost like in a hook from he went from here to there. Then it started getting back in a hook. It was like that.
so you are saying that John will not gain any control of the match,
No,
like
maybe
2000.
the Devon's arm could go from here to here, not more than that,
Okay.
but it'll come back to
Uh-huh.
center. I
It's
think
possible to. It's
yeah,
possible to.
round
It depends how much Devon's wrist will handle the outside the outer side pressure with the pronator control. John can do that. Even with a flat wrist. But let's see.
and this is
I don't know.
and one more
What's
thing,
that?
if the round one, I can see some slip like happening like that. John hits and Devon slips like here, like way down. But still, I don't believe, even if it is a slip in losing position, I don't believe Bill Collins is going to call it a slip in a losing position. It will go straight to straps, because that is what the WAL, UAL, and also the now king of the table format has been. Like almost all slips go to straps. So even if Devon slips
Hmm.
near the pin pad, it would still go to the straps. It would not be a pin for John.
Hmm. The rule says that way, huh?
Maybe it is not written, but it is almost always accepted. Devon has said many times that right now the accepted rule is, I don't know if it is written or not, but the accepted rule is that all slips go to straps.
Imagine that he slipped that way, and then Bill Collins says win for John.
May-
Probably they would not invite Bill anymore there. Or
yeah, maybe it is possible, and I will also lose $100 that I have put on Devon in this match if that happens.
yeah, you are front of me, and I would like to tell you that I hope you lose that money.
I won't mind that. I won't mind that. But I would
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I've told you this before also. I would mind if John wins this entire match for only one reason, because I want to believe in my mind. I want to have this notion, preconceived notion, that arm wrestling has evolved a little bit in super heavyweight. I'm not talking about lightweights, but in super heavyweights, arm wrestling has evolved. And if John wins this match against Devon, it would be really bad for current level of arm wrestling. If a 57-year-old John Brzenk is able to come back and beat Devon, then where is the current level of arm wrestling? It has not moved
Yeah.
where up
When you say
anytime.
like current level of arm wrestling, I in the heavyweight I agree about like Levan, and I see about Lalatin. Those
Yeah.
guys are like very different, and